What is up, guys? This is your boy Andy Matrix, and look what we have here. Look what we have here. I am at cartoonbrew.com, guys, and it says Cartoon Network Studios. As you know it, it is gone, thanks to David Zaslav. And in case you didn't know, David Zaslav, I think he's the guy that runs the Warner Media, right? And it looks like Cartoon Network is getting docs. Right, Cartoon Network is getting docs, and I mean, let's face it. I mean, let's go back. Let's go back to 2021 in December. I actually read this article last year. I have a video on it long ago. It says Disney, Nick, and Cartoon Network saw double-digit rating plummets again this year. Right, so they're making, like, I don't know about Nickelodeon. I don't blame Nickelodeon so much, but. And Disney, I blame, Disney and Cartoon Network, they just been going down the drain. Like, deep down the toilet. Into the sewers. Right? Because of all the crappy content that they've been creating. And it looks like this guy, David Zaslav, is, I don't know if he's, I don't want to say he's finally catching up. But I think he's really starting to investigate. Why is it that these shows freaking fail so much, right? Guys, before we get started, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell for future notifications. I talk about anime, manga, video games, geek culture, Japanese culture. If you're into any of that, make sure to subscribe. All right, now on with the show. And it says Warner Bros. Television Group laid off 82 scripted, unscripted, and animation employees on Tuesday and will not fill 43 more vacant positions. The 125 positions represented 26% of the company's workforce across those units. Yeah, good. Maybe when they come back or when they go somewhere else, they'll make better animation. Let's go back to the animation, like the Thundercat style animation back in like the 90s and the 80s, for God's sakes. But it gets better. Here it says, however, the layoffs, which were generally expected, don't tell the whole story of what's going on at Warner Bros. Discovery Animation units. In fact, there was an even more consequential announcement yesterday that fundamentally alters the structure of Cartoon Network Studios going forward and will have a far-reaching impact on the projects that it produces. The company calls it part of its strategic realignment. Yeah, you better realign the whole freaking thing. Better realign the front wheels, the back wheels. Get the SJWs out of there. Get the activists out of there. All that shit. And start writing better freaking stories, for God's sakes. Let's go back to better quality animation that people will most likely like. Anyways, it says, in a company-wide memo, Chairman Channing Dungey told the staff that the company plans to fully consolidate its TV animation division, merging Warner Bros. Animation and Cartoon Network Studios. Going forward, Sam Register will continue as head of WBA and CNS, as well as Hanna-Barbera Studio Europe, the latter of which will continue to operate independently from the other two. Yeah, so they're putting this together because Cartoon Network is not going to be separate anymore from like Warner Bros. Because they want to keep an eye. They want to keep an eye on what the heck is Cartoon Network doing. Guys, what the heck are you doing? Seriously. And honestly, who the heck watches TV anymore? Like, I mean, I thought we were past TV. Like, I thought everybody was now switching to, subscription services. Isn't that what we're doing now? And finally, well, not finally, but it says, according to the memo, all three labels will continue to exist, but perhaps more in the name in action, both development production at WBA and CNS will now merge. They will now merge, extending on the cross-studio teams that were already in place for programming, casting, legal, business affairs, and artist relations. This means that Cartoon Network Studios no longer has any independent say on either creative or operational matters, something that has never happened before in its existence. You know what I think happened? Because pay attention to this line right here. It says this means that Cartoon Network no longer has independent say on either creative or operational matters. Something has never happened before, because whoever runs Cartoon Network, they've always been able to operate by themselves. Right? They operate by themselves. and you know, they decide what kind of shows are gonna play on the Cartoon Network, you know, station, right? And it looks like now they're saying, nope, from now on you report to us. Whatever shows, okay, whatever shows you're gonna be running on Cartoon Network, whatever shows, you're gonna tell us first, okay? We're gonna know about it first, and then we're gonna greenlight it. Okay, so there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more of a filter. There's gonna be more of a filter with this new, you know, with the new decisions that are gonna be made, and with new management. So Cartoon Network, they're not gonna be like, and this is their fault. This is their fault. They were independent, but because they suck for years, and they've just been going down the drain, just making one crappy show after the other. Let me ask you guys something. Check this out. Let me ask you. When was the last time? Like, let's forget about anime conventions. When you go to, let's say, Comic-Con, when you go to like some convention that may be or may not be related to anime, what is the most common characters you see, right? Because even at Comic-Con, which is supposed to be a comic book convention, like most people, what they cosplay is either superheroes or anime characters. And from time to time, you will see somebody, you know, cosplaying maybe Stevie Universe, maybe some, like, you know, I don't know, the regular show, whatever other crappy shows on the Cartoon Network. But most of the time, people are cosplaying superheroes or anime characters. One of those two, right? Because all these shows on Cartoon Network, it's like they suck. They suck. It's not something that you wanna, you know, you want to cosplay as, that you want to, you know, show to everybody. It's just kind of something that, you know, you just kind of watch just to kill the time. And then the real shows, the really good shows, are on Toonami and Adult Swim. Right? Toonami and Adult Swim. You know? And finally, it says, under boss David Zaslav, Warner Bros. Discovery has expressed a desire to focus more heavily on IP across all its businesses. So now that Cartoon Network's, the Cartoon Network section has to share development and production resources to Warner Bros. What did I tell you? They're gonna have to share. So whenever they're planning on making a crappy show, they're gonna have to go to Warner Bros. First. Hey guys, is this okay? So it's funny. It's difficult to imagine a future in which the studio's original animation output can match what it has been in the past. As long as Zaslav is king, Cartoon Network Studios is likely to shift more strongly towards reboots of its existing catalog, as it is currently doing with Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, I don't know about the Powerpuff Girls, the new Powerpuff Girls that came out, but Cartoon Network has not been good for the longest time. It just hasn't. Like, even back then in the 2000s, there will be adults. Yeah, adults, people in their 30s still watching cartoons because they were that good. But not anymore. Okay, nobody cares anymore. All right? And I think they realize it, finally, because where is it? If we go back to the article I read last year, you know, the numbers have been plummeting, and I imagine they wouldn't even, like, they plummet even worse. It's just lower and lower and lower ratings every single year, you know, and I would like to say that it's Netflix and all these other video streaming services that are kind of like beating them, but not really. Okay, not really. I mean, yeah, there's competition, and the fact that there's also cable, like, you know, a lot of people are just cutting the cord. But another factor is also that they just suck. They're not making any good shows. Like, look at the shows that came out in the 80s and 90s. And then look at the shows that come out now. Like, it's completely freaking different, man. But man, whatever your guys' thoughts are, make sure to comment below. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for future notifications. This is your boy Andy Matrix, guys. Godspeed.